Hi, everybody. Welcome to Live Sessions. Today I'm sitting here with Jeff Grant of Shakeologist, right? Sharkologist. I
You are
knew
not
it.
you are not the first person to mispronounce it in the last 24 hours. That happens all the time. No,
And I practiced. That's the sad part.
it
Ah,
rhymes with archaeologist, so
yes.
sharkeologist. No,
Yeah.
I know. I mean, I know I doomed us to a horrible band name in this particular respect. I did talk to a producer friend of mine who's like, well, basically every band name is bad until a band
Yeah.
gets famous.
Yeah.
We'll see if we ever
Yeah.
get famous and transcend our name, but
Yeah. Where did it come from? Like, how did you come up with it?
it's elemental to the founding of the band, actually. So Um, it was a pet name that I had for a therapist I saw for a very long time. He was
Oh,
my sharkeologist because, I mean, he was very helpful to me. I was in therapy with him for a very long time until he retired.
yeah.
Um, and he was very helpful to me. We got along on many different kind of levels, but one place that was kind of a sticking point for us is he did not understand this deep and abiding love I've had for sharks all my life. You can see here
Mm,
I come prepared with my Jaws Legos
I
right
see
in
that.
my recording studio. It's kind of cool, right?
Yeah.
Um, I have loved sharks so deeply all my life, and he was sort of perplexed by that. He's like, they're so violent and they're so aggressive, and I wonder if your love of sharks is really you trying to make peace with the deep aggression you have in your heart. Actually,
Well,
I think he was sort of right about that actually.
yeah.
Um, but he didn't get it. Like I would cry in session and be like, sharks are so beautiful and they're so horribly misunderstood. I was
Yeah.
doing a lot of projecting, I think, Kara,
Yeah. Yeah.
into sharks. So I joked with him that he became my sharkeologist, and
Yeah.
I don't think he thought it was all that funny, but I thought it was funny.
Yeah.
So
I think
that's where
it's
the name came from.
great.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think it's awesome. I have
Thanks.
I much have a deep appreciation and love for orcas.
Oh yeah, that's
So
cool.
I understand that the correlation there. Like I do too.
Hmm.
I have, well, not right now, but well, I mean, I have a lamp that's an orca, but
Oh, cool.
um all of my orca stuff is packed away. but but I totally understand. I think if I had when I first started like doing photography, I tried to make my
Hmm.
photography business say orca, but it
Hmm.
just didn't work out and nobody could say it, so I just went to my name instead. But
Perhaps
I
you
think
made
that's
a wiser move than we did.
yeah.
Whatever.
I think it's a cool name. Like it's
Thanks.
different. There's nobody else that has it that I know of in the hundreds of people I've interviewed or even seen. I have never seen that name. So I think it's pretty awesome.
Cool. Thank you. We're doing something right then, I suppose.
Yeah. 100%.
Yeah.
So tell us how the band got together. Like how did you make your band?
It's not, I mean, it does relate in some sense to the name and to my own journey in therapy, to be honest with you. So, I was in bands all through like the earlier part of my 20s, living in
Mhm.
Seattle, bartending and, waitering gigs and that type of thing while playing in bands. Had a lot of fun with that, but also it was an extreme grind. As you're saying, you've interviewed tons of people
Yeah.
in this scene. You know how hard it is. I mean, maybe in
Oh
any
yeah.
town, but in Seattle too. It's just, it's a grind. Things, bands I was in, we toured, we gave it the good college try, and it was difficult. So at some point, like as my 20s were ending, I was like, I would like to have a life that is more um, stable and predictable and financially rewarding and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So I trained to become a psychotherapist. I got my
Wow.
master's degree in 2012 and my PhD in psychology in 2017.
Congrats. Wow.
Thanks. Yeah, a lot of book learning, and
Yeah.
I've been doing therapy this whole time. But at some point, I got to the other side of that, started a family, got married, had two kids, and
Wow.
then I felt like I've got this. You can hear my son laughing in the background. He's watching Netflix.
Um,
Um, I I was like, "Oh, I've developed this beautiful life for myself, but oh my God, I've forgot something along the way. I've left a huge part of myself along the side of the road. It became like a panic. Like I have to do this again. I absolutely have to do
yeah.
this again. So in a fever, I started writing. And I mean, I never stopped writing songs, but I really got into it again and recorded in this kind of home setup I have here. And that became the genesis for a new songwriting and performance vehicle for me. So it was like I have to. It felt like I was dying. It's like I have to do this, otherwise I'm going to
Yeah.
completely fall apart. So
Yeah. I understand that. Yeah. It's one of those things where I think musicians it becomes like such a part of who you are that like it does feel like there's a part missing, or there's something that like you're not tapping into, or
Hmm.
something to that effect, where it has to come
Totally.
back to, it's definitely something I think I found in a lot of musicians, like ones that
Hmm.
everybody is. I think there's different levels, but like most that are really, it's like a passion, it's like a heart in your heart. That's where it comes from. And they'll diverge and they'll be like, oh yeah, I gotta go back to it.
I gotta go
Like
back.
this
Yeah.
is this is something I have to do with my life.
It's kind of comforting to hear you say that actually, because sometimes it feels kind of like a lonely
Mm,
journey a bit,
yeah.
and it's not to be idealized. Like I do love that I've have this passion in me, but sometimes it's a pain in the fucking ass. Like,
Oh
if I
yeah.
can swear, like
Yeah.
sometimes I look at other people my age who seem to have let that part of their life go by, and they appear to be very contented and happy and sort of living something that feels a little simpler and less demanding of their time. And so a
Yeah,
lot of being in bands and really trying to do that takes up a huge part of your life.
it does.
And
Yes.
I can't stop doing it,
Yeah.
even if it drives me totally crazy sometimes. So
Well, I mean, I think it comes down to, also what makes you feel whole as a person. Like,
100%, yeah.
kids and wives and husbands and everything else, all and job and everything else is what I think kind of fills half of it, right? But then you feel like you've kind of let go of that one thing that really did kind of, before all of that, kind of
100%.
shape who you were as a person. And so
Oh, totally.
I get it. It's a hard line to like sit on, of like, should I do it? Can I do it? Do I have the time? Like
Totally, yeah.
it totally does.
And I don't know that it sort of feels embarrassing to admit this, but there is like a narcissistic part of me, like in addition to the questions you just outlined, there's a part like, even if I do this well and put together a band, like, who the hell cares? Like, what's the
Yeah.
point? Does anybody care about what some random 40-year-old musician has to say?
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
like I have to, which is like, I don't think everybody's afflicted by that, but I
No.
certainly am. So I'm like, I talk about it with my new therapist all the time, and I try to I don't know if that's going to go away from me, but at least I can try to be honest with myself about it and try to remember that despite all the pressure I put on myself to like have people appreciate my music, the actual doing of it is really fun. That part
Yeah.
still feels
But
good.
that's the most important though, right? Like
Totally. Oh yeah.
even if you have five people, let's say, that love your music, which is not the case, but if
Sure.
we're going
Totally.
to an extreme of like what is more important, I think
Right.
more important is you doing it rather than having a room full of people like it. Now that's the goal, right? Because
Totally.
you want people to hear, but um, I think at the end of the day, it really comes down to like how you feel about it and how
Hmm.
you want to make it and what fulfills you, right? So
That's that theoretically at least like the part that's going to be the most enduring, because I plan on doing
yeah,
this until I can't anymore physically, right? Probably
yeah.
long. Yeah, there's that's the part that endures much. Like, well, I got to share this with you actually. So we played a show last weekend at Tim's Tavern in Seattle with this gentleman. I don't know if this is I just happen to have the poster here. David Liebehart. Do you know who this is?
I have never heard of him.
David Liebehart is a ventriloquist and songwriter who
Really?
kind of became sort of famous on a show called Tim and Eric Awesome Show Great Job, which was like an adult swim show, late night,
Oh,
very eccentric comedy.
yeah.
Anyway, the dude, he performs songs about having been abducted by aliens. He works his ventriloquism into that at times. What he's doing is like so singularly out there, like totally never seen this before.
Yeah.
And my sense with David, having played a show with him, is that I don't think he cares the way that I can sometimes care about, to your
Mm.
point, how many people are listening. This guy's just, I mean, this is a compliment I'm giving him. He's like flying his freak flag really high. And
Yeah.
he is just out there doing his weird thing. And it was really inspiring to me, like this very strange man performing these really bizarre songs, but doing it so genuinely himself. And
Yeah.
I don't know. That feels like something of a north star that I lose sight of sometimes. But
Yeah.
trying to maintain that.
Well, I think it's you eventually find your tribe, right? Where
Yes,
you just kind of have to put it out there, and then your tribe will eventually find you, and you'll eventually
totally.
find the people that appreciate your music and who
Yeah.
you are and all those kinds of things. So I think that's a thing with everybody. I kind of get the idea is that, putting your first album or putting your first song, or, is anybody going to relate? Is anybody going to hear it? Is it, there's all these like questions, but I feel like at the end of the day, somebody will find it, somebody will hear it. And
Totally.
then
It
the
just.
the flow goes with, word of mouth at that point.
Just keep that feels like strange to break it down this way, but it's a little bit like a numbers game. Like just keep
Yeah.
going. I remember
Yeah.
Sub Pop Records. I don't know if it's still that way, but back in the old days, their motto
Gosh.
was number one in quantity instead of
Yeah.
quality. Like I
Yeah, yeah.
like that. I like
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
But the other
Man,
side sort of
Sub Pop, that's a throwback. I haven't heard that in forever.
well, I mean, they're still doing it here in Seattle, but Sub Pop of my childhood was
Yes.
sort of a golden era. Big, important for me musically for sure, and culturally, kind of being here at that time.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I remember that for sure.
I
I
bet.
don't know, they weren't pretty integral in me, but like I definitely remember it being important and like in the music sense and reality,
Totally, yeah.
around it
Hmm.
in Seattle. So yeah. Oh my
Totally.
gosh. Um well, I kind of wanted to go into your music itself and like how you go about it. Like what is your process when you're like sitting there and wanting to make a song? Like is it something that you have to be in? Is it as in like in the moment, or
Hmm.
can you come and walk away from it, or just say to your notes, like how is your process of
That's
that?
a that's an interesting point. Yeah,
Everybody's so different. It makes me curious.
totally. Well, with me, I would say um, what typically happens is that well, typical. I don't know if it's ever typical, but one thing that can happen is that I'll I'll be sitting around the house, say, in the midst of some very different part of my life, like I'm with my kids or doing the dishes or something like that. And there can be a melody that just comes to me. That is often the way it starts. Is I just start singing. I've got some oral fixation, so just the feeling of sound in my mouth feels nice.
Yeah.
So let's be humming something, and my ears will hear what I'm doing. Like, oh, that sounds kind of cool. That can be a genesis for idea. Then I'll immediately go sit down, set the dishes
Yeah.
down, go get a guitar, and see if I can find changes that kind of work with the melody. Another way is
Yeah.
if I hear like you know, a new. I hear some music I haven't heard before. Like this most recently happened with the new Deftones record. It just hits me and really moves me, and immediately it's like both inspirational, but probably also a little bit envious. It's like I want to do something that
Mm,
awesome, so I'm going to go to the
yeah.
guitar, and that can be very fertile ground too. Um, so these are, I mean, really, I guess what I'm saying is that it starts with something musical and
Yeah.
mostly based on the guitar, sometimes piano. Lyrically, that part typically comes last for me because and just my process has been I like melodies and changes, and it comes across in the music too. It's like that's
Yeah.
where I put a lot of the craft in. Um, and then the lyrics
Yeah.
sometimes come out free associate, just kind of right before I record them. It comes out, and then hopefully I like it.
Wow. Yeah. Do you immediately like record the melody and everything first so that it's like go like out and and then go for the lyrics, or is it like everything just kind of builds?
Typically, like I try to trust my free associative capacity. So if I have a melody
Mm,
that just starts coming to me, la da 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 da. Well, that's kind of a
yeah.
cool melody. Some words that come to me, out in the lonely again. That might be a lyric that just it doesn't really serve the function it serves for me is to simply just have a words that are placeholders so I can begin to build a
Yeah.
melody, but maybe I'll actually kind of like it. Out here in the lonely again. Um, that could be sort of inspiring to me. And then what often happens is sort of like much later, I listen to the lyrics that I recorded as part of like a voice memo on my phone. It's like,
Yeah.
oh shit, I was actually really saying something. I wasn't really aware of what I was saying, but in listening with the benefit of hindsight, kind of be sort of curious to. It's sort of like dream interpretation, actually. I don't know if that's something you're
Yeah.
familiar with, but I do that a lot in my work with my patients. Sometimes we talk about dreams for years with patients, and only after several years do we realize, oh, that's what that dream was about. We didn't know it at the
Yeah.
time. We
Yeah.
needed the benefit of experience and time and distance to really see it, and that's kind of how it can be for me lyrically too. I look back and like, oh,
Yeah.
I mean, sometimes I'm like, oh, that was kind of cringe. That sort of sucked. I would do that again differently, but that's okay. I mean, I try not to judge that too bad.
Yeah, I feel like it's interesting because when you go back, you're like, oh man, that was not like there's some songs that I've written before and I was like,
Mm.
no, that would not work anymore. You
But do
know?
you try to be faithful or try to be sort of understanding of who you were at the time you wrote it?
Yeah.
It's like,
Yeah. Well,
yeah,
I think that's part of it too, right? You have to like honor where you were at that time and period,
totally.
and Um,
Hard.
and it can be hard because you're like, I'm so far removed from that, and it
Totally.
was such a time, in that period where I don't know, I was in it, but then, um,
Totally. Shh, Tom, Tom. Shh, shh, shh. Thank you. Sorry.
it's
Welcome to my
okay.
life. This is it. This is what it's like.
Hey, I have a dog. She happens to be out and she does it all the time. She always
If
tries
it
to get
says
in.
hi, that's cool.
um but yeah, I mean, I totally, I always wonder because there's a lot of people that'll go back to those and then they'll be like, oh yeah, I can bring it forward into where I am now
Hmm.
and make it some sort of like new idea or thought for now
Yeah.
and stuff. And I don't know, I've never found that to be easy for me. Like
Yeah.
I think I've grown beyond wherever that is. Like, do you ever have that,
Mm.
because you've been in it for so long, do you ever have like going back going, I can't bring that forward, it's not, I'm way
It just
beyond that.
won't work. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
Yeah, there are
yeah,
ideas that had I been more diligent or if I'd had the time or the space or something,
yeah,
it would have come together as a song 10, 15 years ago. And
yeah,
then I
yeah,
just can't go back to it because it doesn't my sensibility has changed or I'm just not the same person. I mean, I have
yeah.
had experiences though of actually very recently had a song that came together. I mean, recorded it in the studio finally last month, but that thing was percolating for probably 10, 15 years, I would
Wow,
say,
yeah,
and just kind of sat on the back burner. And then finally, something in me allowed me to finish it. I find that kind of stuff fascinating.
yeah.
One thing I've discovered more of too. Like I've written a lot of songs and recorded them, and then tried to bring them to the band, and then inevitably song changes when you get a bunch of other musicians on it.
Oh,
That can be
100%,
that
yeah.
can be really. I enjoy that process a lot. Even though the way it usually works is that I end up liking what the band plays more than what I recorded, or what we recorded in the studio, and it kind of
Yeah,
evolves organically over the months. It's like, oh damn it, we should have done it this way. Ah well,
yeah.
I try to be less judgmental of that.
Yeah,
Um,
I think that's, but I think as musicians, like, I feel like I have never met a musician that isn't, though. Especially of your own, like the critique of everybody on their own thing is
Totally.
like, it never goes away.
Part of the reason I feel at home with a lot of other musicians I know is that we're all kind of, I don't know, we carry a similar sensibility. Not that it's easy to do;
Yes.
it can kind of hurt, um,
Yeah.
those are my people.
Yeah. Yeah, 100%. I agree with that. Yeah, I mean, I even through just meeting so many people through this, it's definitely a character trait of musicians for sure.
Hmm.
There it has to be like, and even as myself as a musician, like you kind of rip it apart until you feel like it's perfect,
Sure. Oh
and then
gosh, yeah.
and then you go again and you're like, oh no, I should take that out too, and
No,
and
I
it becomes like
totally.
a shell of what it is.
Oh gosh. To your point from before, though, trying to be faithful to what the
Yeah,
idea was and the person you were when you were first writing it, and then
yeah,
that's where music ends up being kind of more like a song can be kind of like a time capsule, which I really enjoy. I've
yes,
got a different. I do have a friend though. Friend of mine who painted this strange kind of skull thing in the background. He also
yeah.
painted this Bob Dylan painting back here. You see
Wow, I
art.
saw that. Yeah, that's
Yeah,
cool.
pretty cool. Yeah, he painted that actually at a live show I did. So he was painting that while we were
Wow, you
performing
were
at this,
playing?
yeah, at the Tractor
What?
Tavern, and then he auctioned it off at the end of the night, and I bought it because I wanted it so bad. Um,
That's amazing.
he's cool. He's an interesting. He definitely has a different take where no painting is ever finished. So, this
Wow.
painting's been hanging on the wall for a long time, but this one's literally unfinished. You can see the white splotches. But the way he talks
Yeah.
about it, like if I'm painting something and I want to come back and add strokes years later, I'll do it. Sort of encourages me to do something similar with
Mm,
music. It's like, who
yeah.
cares? Just go record it again, or go take the old masters and record over them, and have it remastered, or whatever. It's fine.
Yeah.
Play
Which is an
counterpoint.
interesting thought, like where you could go back and be like, oh yeah, this could be something different later,
Totally.
whereas you think it's going to be what it is then. But like,
Yeah.
that's where I find people that like can do covers and
Mm-hmm.
make the song way better than it originally was, you
Oh, of
know?
course.
So it's kind of the same idea, I think,
Mm-hmm.
of like being able to see it with new eyes and new perspective and new experiences going into it,
Totally.
but I do originally feel like honoring where it was at the time is
Mm-hmm.
important too,
Sure.
because you're right, it's a time capsule of who you were in that moment.
Totally.
I don't
It's
know.
funny you bring up covers, Kara, because it's very timely. I wanted to. One of the things that I was. There's an artist in Seattle. Her name's Byland, or the band's name Byland. Her name's Allie Byland. I don't know her, but I through friends of friends connected.
Yeah.
But she's in a band that seems to be doing pretty well. They just went on tour with Deep Sea Diver, and kind of making moves. But one thing
Mm.
that she did that I thought was really smart is she recorded a couple like very choice covers. I think she did a Jackson Brown tune and then a Nirvana song. I felt like
Wow.
that was kind of inspiring to me. Like, oh, this is a way to get people in the door, perhaps. Like, do a
Yeah.
cover that, oh, this band covered this band. I'll give them a shot. So
Yeah.
our band recorded in the studio. We did an original, but also a couple of covers. Like we also covered a Nirvana tune. Tried to but in my mind, the reason it came to my mind was that I was trying to balance the desire to want to do something somewhat faithful to the source material, but also not just something derivative that sounds like it might as well have been, it could be any bar
Yeah.
band anywhere just doing a cover of a song.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, but in the process of doing that, we recorded a version of just literally just finished it. Genuine's Pony. Do you remember that song from the '90s?
Yeah.
It is so incredibly different. It sounds like it's like if Tool got a hold of that song or something. Yeah,
What?
it's very dark. Anyway, it's just on my mind because I've been playing it for friends recently. They're like, "That's great," and it sounds nothing like the
Yeah.
material. But I don't know. That song's super sexy. I kind of think our version's sort of dark and twisted in a sexy kind of
Yeah.
Nine Inch Nails sort of way. Anyway,
Yeah.
on my mind
I was
thinking about
thinking Nine Inch Nails. Like that was kind of where I was
yeah,
thinking too. Is it kind of in that realm? Yeah.
totally
Yeah. That's
right.
so cool. I
It's pretty
I
weird.
think it
Yeah.
I think it's cool when people when it's like the genre is taken where it originally sat like with that song and it's taken to a different genre,
Yep.
like Seether redid um uh, Careless Whisper,
Oh,
from
they
like
did
the
it?
80s.
Oh, I
Yeah.
didn't know that.
Yeah,
Awesome.
totally better than the original. Not that George Michael didn't, but it's such a good one.
Is that the sexy
Um
sax song? The
yeah. Yep, yep, yep.
yeah. Wow.
Except they used like a little more guitar than the sax,
Of
but
course. That's,
it's
they did a
so
good
cool
job.
and it's
Yeah.
faster and it's so I feel like there's this kind of cool crossover when you do that where you have an opportunity to kind of take the original and make it something so much more than what people would imagine it could be, and I that's where I think covers, like uh David Cook did like a rendition of Bubba O'Reilly, which was really
Oh,
cool,
cool. Interesting. Yeah,
and
yeah, yeah.
just a cool like rock version of it.
Totally.
So I kind of respect the fact when people can kind of take that kind of music and or something people know very well and turn it into like something that could be totally different and you don't even know that it's the original song.
But I
Yeah.
think the best ones, yes, it's exciting when it's completely transformed like that. But I
Yeah.
also think like when you reveal something about the song that may not have been
Mm.
totally like the original song, the way you do it reveals something new about it. Maybe like Johnny
Oh,
Cash's
yeah.
version of "Hurt,"
Yeah.
kind of like that song that in the Trent Reznor Nine Inch Nails version is so just sort of I don't know, dark and kind of
Yeah.
almost like
Twisted.
sadistic or something.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
then
Yeah.
Johnny Cash in his version reveals something so beautifully mournful and sort of full of
Yes.
grief that, in my opinion, like was there in the song, waiting for him to discover it. Those are the best covers, I think. So I don't know exactly what my song, our version of Pony, I guess it reveals. I don't know, something darkly twisted and sexual
I'll have to
about
go
it.
listen to it now.
I literally just sent it off for mastering today, so hopefully,
Oh, good.
I'd like to
I'm
get video going.
excited.
So yeah, I'll definitely share it with you. It's pretty wild.
Yeah. I gotta hear it now. Like that just has to happen.
Pretty exciting.
Yeah. Well, why don't you give us kind of rundown of some of your music and like maybe explain some of the songs and you can sing them if you want to while you're doing that, or you can just let us know
Sure,
too.
yeah, I could do that. Can you hear that okay?
Yeah.
This is not what our band sounds like. This is just what I play to make sure my guitar sounds good. Well, I mean, I love hard rock. What can I say? It's
Yeah.
such a kind of I mean, I grew up huge fan of Nirvana and Queens of the Stone Age and some of the early Foo Fighters stuff. That remains kind of like
Mm.
a through line, I would say, as a motif, like loud guitars, really strong, singable melodies. That's very
Yeah.
much the way that I think in the kind of songs I write. I also I would say sometimes like I've discovered in the last I don't know maybe the last 10 years or so how much I love the synth too, as a way of
Mm.
kind of just filling up a sound and having alternate melodies. So periodically, our music has, to me, it can sound a little bit like it's funny. All the references are so old here, but It's got a little bit of Electric Light Orchestra, like Jeff
Yeah.
Lynne, a little bit with orchestral feel. But really, at any given time, I want our band to be high energy. I want our music um, to try to have some kind of hook because that's just the music I like
Yes.
listening to. I love crafting a melody that's hooky, let's say.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Do you
Um,
start with the hook?
Often, yeah, that dishes moment I'm having as I'm
Yeah.
sitting there. La da da da. Ooh, yeah, I dig that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's often the way it starts for me.
Yeah. Me
Um,
too. I start with
yeah,
the hook too. Yeah.
I feel like that comes across for song, and maybe it's true in your music too. Like, I suppose it would be different if we were coming at it differently. Like, in other instances, rarer, maybe I've come up with something on the guitar I really like, or periodically on the piano, and then I try to adapt a melody to it. That can
Mm-hmm.
work, but it doesn't work as well as the other way around for me.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
the human voice gets something going. So maybe you and I are similar that way.
Yeah.
Um,
I agree.
so we're high energy rock and band. We're trying to put a lot of thought into being a very compelling live act. I actually, uh, acquaintance of mine that I've worked with before said like, in his experience, 80% arbitrary number, but he said 80% of what people hear at a live show they hear through their eyes. I thought that was
Mm,
kind of a it was
interesting.
interesting to me. It's like because I think that's I mean it's got to sound at least halfway decent, but the way it looks is so important. So
Yeah.
you know,
I can understand that. I think, people, if you're gonna go to a live show,
right.
I think you want to see some sort of uh yeah, like correlation with whatever the music is that you're listening
Totally.
to,
And I think
and
people who give it in whatever way they want, it can be
yeah,
a performance
yeah,
that's meant to, I don't know, draw people in some way. I've gotten really
yeah,
fond of
yeah, yeah,
going
yeah.
into the crowd. I got a wireless microphone now, so I can like go in the crowd and sing with people and
That's
dance with them,
amazing.
doing that type of stuff. Like
Yeah, yeah.
matters a lot to me.
Yeah, I think that's important. I mean, being someone who like was seeing live shows like almost 20 a month, I can definitely tell you it was like, there's definitely a point where you kind of want to match the energy of whatever's happening.
Sure.
And, whatever their nuances, like if you walk into the audience or, whatever the nuance that everybody
Totally.
has,
Yeah.
it's they all have kind of have their own thing. But
Got to read
um
the room. I think is
yeah,
the
yeah,
biggest thing.
read the room. Yeah, exactly. And then that way people feel more connected to it, and then eventually your music becomes more connected at that
I think that's
rate
right.
as
I
well.
think that's totally right. Yeah, the
Yeah.
gigs where that has gone well, and I think I mean as the lead singer and kind of front person who jumps around, takes his shirt off, and goes crazy, like learning
Yeah.
how to read the room has been important, and I think I've gotten better at
Yeah.
that. I've actually, in addition to like starting my own band, I've also been a for the last I guess like 6 or 7 years now, I've been a singer in a wedding band, which is the ultimate
Whoa.
training in being good at reading the room.
Oh my
What
gosh,
kind
yeah.
of wedding crowd is this? Do they really want to rage tonight? Or are these a bit more of an introverted crowd that I'm just going to play
Yeah.
background music for? Like, you have to get really good at sensing that. Otherwise,
Yeah, no
you'll be way
kidding.
too removed or you're going
Oof.
to be way too big and people are going
Yeah,
to
yeah.
freak
Yeah.
out. So,
I think that has to be the hardest gig too, because you really do have to like know the audience and know the people.
which of course I
And
don't because I've like literally met them 20
you
minutes
just
before I
met him,
showed
yeah.
up. So,
Right. So it's like,
yeah.
right, 30 seconds, you're like, I gotta, I would think it would be like one of those where like you play come out with a certain song and maybe that like reads who it
Totally.
is. You know what I
Yes,
mean?
for
Like,
sure.
I don't know.
Generally try to we try to the band's called the Shakedown. We get pretty busy now in the summertime. But we yes, it's you're no you're onto something here. Like we craft the set with the most eminent like we'll set the bar very
Mhm.
low. Music that
Yeah.
everybody knows, typically spans the generations.
Yes. Yeah.
Like I thought love was only true in fairy
Yes,
tales.
yeah.
Like everybody knows that song, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And then you kind of begin to suss out the crowd, and typically even earlier I mean, honestly, alcohol can sometimes be a big factor here
Oh,
because
yeah. Yeah.
early in the night, like people might not be dancing, but if you're keeping an eye on the bar and you see long lines queuing up, they're like, okay, the third set's gonna be a banger, and it
Yeah,
usually
yeah.
is.
You're like, I know where I'm going now.
I know where we're going. I know where these people are ready to take us. But the larger point being the one that you're identifying, like you just got to learn how to read a room,
Yeah.
and quickly
Well, and
and very
that's the
fast.
thing I think is whether it's a wedding, which is I think the hardest of it, but also because when a wedding, people aren't coming there for you, right? So you're
No,
kind of coming into a situation of having to like win them over almost,
hundred percent.
like I can do, I'm here because, I can entertain you, right? Whereas if you're doing your own show, people are coming there for you.
So
So
true. Yeah.
it seems like a different like way to go about of like how to I think you two also have to read the room as well
Hmm.
of at your own show too, because you just don't know who's there in attendance and if it's the same people or not.
Totally.
But also like I think it makes it more fun because you can experiment in that way. They're expecting something, they're expecting certain music or something from you, but then you're like, hey, I'm gonna switch it up and we're gonna do this or something.
Totally.
So I feel like it can also be if the crowd is a little bit more hyped and a little bit more excited, then you can adjust to that too.
Totally. I'm sorry. Tom, Tom, you turned it up here. Bring it here. Bring it here. Bring it here. I'm sorry. You're welcome to my life. Tom, come here. I can help you, buddy. You turned it up too loud by pressing the button too much.
Oh.
Okay, there we go. Not this isn't like my finest fathering here, having my son sit on an iPad while I do my music thing, but
It's
I did.
totally okay. How old is he?
He's
You
5.
said
He's
he's
5,
5. Oh, that's the best
and
age.
my
I was a
9-year.
teenager, or I was a teenager. I was a teacher for
Mm.
kids under 5 for like 20 years, and
Oh, no
that's like my
kidding!
favorite
Wow.
age.
That like preschool, like
Yeah,
late.
yeah,
Okay,
yeah, yeah.
cool, nice.
Yeah, kindergarten, pre-K. Pre-K was the last one that I
Okay,
did. Yeah. I moved
awesome.
I started toddlers for like 10 years, like 1.5 to 2.5, and then I did and then I moved up to like 3-year-olds.
Okay,
And
yeah,
that was the most fun. Like
that's a fun age.
3-year-olds are just, they're the way they think of the world. I wish we all could just kind of keep that sort of a little bit.
Keep a little bit of our child's. I'll totally agree.
Yeah, yeah.
Totally agree.
Oh, they're just so curious and they're so like everything is new, and I
Hmm.
just love that about 3 and 4-year-olds. And then once they get to like 5, they're kind of trying to become their own person. And so, I
Yeah,
don't know.
my older kid is 9. She was very
Yeah,
much that way. Like
yeah,
by the time, especially like getting into school, it probably matters. You start to
yeah,
develop a sense of how you want to blend in or stick out, or like
yeah,
how alternating is. I want to stick out in this way, but I don't want to stick out in this other way. Like that's where she's in 3rd grade now, so that's
yeah.
where she's at.
I think that's kind of the age where everybody kind of tries to do that, right? Where you try and figure out
Yeah,
where you fit within the group of people, the group of kids or yourself. Like, do I want to be a musician? Do I That's where I think all those things start to come,
totally.
you
That
know?
really
Like,
starts. Oh man, I remember that very, very clearly, man.
me
Very,
too.
very
Yeah.
clearly.
Yeah, that's when I started being a musician is when I was 9.
No
And
kidding. Yeah, same
yeah.
here. Same here. Yeah, taking
Um
guitar lessons, wearing Nirvana shirts to school, all that kind of stuff.
I was wearing well, at 9 to 12 I was like all about the flannel. I was really into the grunge era.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
But I played the flute, and so it was like a total separate from like how I was dressing.
There's something weirdly serendipitous about you saying that. The feature moment on this version of Pony I was telling you about. Sorry to hype it
Yeah,
up, but I can't play it because it's not ready yet. But there's
yeah.
a big time flute solo in the middle of it.
Oh,
So like
really?
this kind of hard driving sort of metalish riff, and then a killer
Yeah.
flute solo on top of it, which is it's a banger. So
That's
it's
cool.
pretty sweet. Yeah.
Yeah.
So you'll
Yeah.
hear that.
Definitely something you wouldn't like it wouldn't be anything that you would realize would happen, or expect.
Oh, you're like hearing this riffing and like this big ass beat, and then all of a sudden,
Yeah.
tender flute,
Yeah.
like kind of jazz flute solo.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
weird.
I
So
love it. I can't wait. I can't wait.
yeah, it should be
I
fun.
haven't played it in a really long time. I got into
Mm.
high school and was like, I'm gonna play the drums, and that's where I
Oh,
started.
cool.
And then
Nice.
and
Did you
then
do
I
marching band or any of that kind of stuff? I know that's often a place that
no,
drummers go in high school.
I wanted to, but they got up at 5 in the morning and that just didn't sound fun to me.
Oh,
So
that's school.
yeah, I was like, no,
It
it's
makes me
okay.
sick to my stomach to even think about that. But
I
wow,
know, yeah.
5 in the morning.
Yeah, but I definitely was in band. I didn't do that.
Gotcha.
But yeah, it was a lot of fun. I remember just being able to like be really I was always like first or second chair when
Awesome.
I don't know. I don't know if they still do that anymore, but
I think they.
um
I mean, I assume they do. I think
I
wasn't that
would
something you
assume
taught?
so too.
Yeah.
I don't know. It has been 30 years, so I don't know. But but yeah, I mean it was by the time I got to high school and did drums, I did the percussion in school, in class and stuff. And
Cool.
so It
Nice.
was fun. Like there was a, I only did it because I liked a guy in high school, and I was like, I'm gonna be a drummer and be cool. And then I realized I really liked it anyway, and so I just bought my own drum set and
It
went
was a
from
happy
there.
accident. Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah.
Whatever happened to the guy?
He wanted to be an actor, so he's in LA somewhere doing his thing, being an actor.
Oh, like, and that guy was Chris Pratt or something like
Yeah, yeah.
that.
No kidding, no kidding. Though Chris Pratt, I think, went to Mount Vernon. I think
Yeah, I
he went
remember
to
he's a
Mount Vernon.
Washington guy. Or Mount
Yeah.
Vernon, Moses Lake. I don't. Yeah, I
Moses
think
Lake?
maybe
No,
Moses.
Mount Vernon. I think it was Mount Vernon.
I trust
Lake
you. I
Stevens?
trust you. I trust you. Ooh, that's a good pull right there. One of
I
those.
think it was Lake Stevens. I
Yeah.
think it was Lake Stevens. He still has his house in San Juan, so
Oh, he has a house up
kind of
there.
jealous.
Nice. I bet he has a swanky place, man.
Right? Oh,
Gross.
oh, I love the San Juans. I would love that. I would be like, just let me stay at your house and take care of it, you know?
100%. I'll house at your place. You
Yeah.
should be in this wedding band. We play. I mean, wedding. That's like the ultimate destination for weddings
Yeah.
in the summer, like Friday Harbor or
Yeah.
Whidbey Island. Definitely put a lot of weddings. I'm going back on November 8th to do a wedding on San Juan Island.
Oh, that's so cool.
So
On Friday Harbor?
yes, or
Roach Harbor?
ooh, I don't. This Friday. It's not Roche. And we've done that one before.
Oh,
But no,
yeah.
Friday Harbor this time. So anyway, it's
Yeah. I
Saltwater
love it.
Farms. Pretty nice.
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I've been there. Yeah. I love it. I love it.
Play a lot of this. That's another. That's another. It's a common
Yeah.
first wedding set song for me to sing. That's for sure.
That's so interesting because I think, if you go down like the list of songs that people would play at a wedding, I really feel like they're all like they're your mainstream older 60s songs, like maybe 70s.
Yeah, it's certainly early in the night. We kind of are. I think it's wise for a wedding band to try to open up the music to as many generations as possible, just to
Yes,
get people on the
I
dance
agree.
floor.
Yeah, yeah.
So yeah, you're right. Like 60s and 70s. So by the end of the night, we typically is when the younger crowd's hanging on, so the
Yeah.
set gets a little newer. But we have some bangers and like unexpected songs that are just killers at weddings. "Zombie" by the Cranberries. It feels strange to play. It's like
Really?
that's like a political sort of protest tune, but we
Yeah.
performed it at a wedding. I mean, people were like moshing and crowd surfing at this wedding. It was pretty crazy, man.
I would not have expected that.
Yeah, me too, man. But people love that song.
It's such a
Um,
good song
I
too.
mean, yeah, people love to rage. People love that song. So
Yeah, the younger crowd, I'd imagine, well, we're the like 40s maybe and below.
yeah, certain songs kind of seem like they kind of sneak their way back into the, I don't know, to TikTok or something that a younger
Yeah.
generation gets hold of it. But definitely, like we're playing a
Yeah.
lot of weddings for 30 somethings who all know that tune.
Oh,
They all know whatever. There's a few other random rock tunes we do.
yeah.
So
I can't
"Basket
even
Case"
think of
by
it.
Green Day is a great one for a
Yes.
wedding.
Oh, classic. Yeah.
That's another good one.
Yeah. That when that song comes on, I become a
Yeah. Every
whole
time,
different person.
talk about time traveling. Yeah, all of a sudden, like old
Exactly.
self or old part of
95?
yourself comes out for sure. Oh, I
Yeah.
remember that so well.
Yeah, me too. Them and No Doubt were like the
Yes,
same year, Tragic Kingdom, and I remember just like being so involved and like that was all I listened to.
it's
It was
incredible. I mean,
great.
timeless music. Good time to be a young person into music at that time. I mean,
Yes.
probably true now too in a different way, but back
Yeah.
then it was very true. I saw No
I feel
Doubt.
like we got lucky though. I feel like the 90s really did like the later really did kind of like 95 and to 2000 really kind of you have like Matchbox 20 and all these really cool bands, Three Doors Down and Foo Fighters and all these really
Totally,
cool
yeah.
bands that kind of shaped the end of the 90s, you
It's
know?
very true, and I mean, I feel like that's. I mean, it seems to be music that is still well known and still popular. Like it's
Yes.
had long legs in a way that, like, I don't know. I don't know that I could like bands from the rock bands from the early 2000s say like who was big then. I remember I
Oh,
bought a Stained record back then. That doesn't seem like
yeah.
it's aged all that well.
It's
It
been a
it
while.
literally has been a while since I listened to them. But Deftones, their new album
Oh
just
yeah.
went up. They went number 1, and that band was. I mean, I remember seeing
Yeah.
them in 1990, 1998, Key Arena
Yeah.
in
They were
Seattle. Yeah,
huge too with who was with them? It was them and Deftones and gosh, I wish I could remember.
like
There
like
was
a live
another
show
one
you
like
went
in
to.
that same genre. Um,
the kind of new metal stuff, a lot of which sort of fell away, but I remember Korn was popular
yes,
back
Corn,
then.
that's what
Korn
it
was a
was. Yeah,
big,
yeah.
big
Follow
thing.
your leader. Yeah,
Totally.
yeah, yeah.
Adidas. I mean, some of that stuff's
Yes.
some of that stuff's so good.
Gosh. Freak
Yeah.
on a leash. I heard that on the radio the other day and I was like, man, this was such a jam.
It's so good. Yeah, don't even care saying I love it. I
Yeah,
have this
me too.
philosophy, like the guy who recorded flute on that song I was telling you about.
Yeah.
He at some point he's a musician, and he actually is he's a Grammy award winning saxophone player. So
Wow.
one of my
Okay.
oldest friends. He's from Seattle, but he won a Grammy for playing sax on a Beyonce record, actually, which is kind of cool.
Wow.
But he has
Oh
this.
no.
At some point, I was like trashing somebody, like, or I was trashing myself for like, I actually kind of like some John Mayer songs. I feel totally
Yeah.
embarrassed
Oh,
admitting
yeah.
that to him. He's like,
Yeah.
dude, Mother Music doesn't care. He's like, he has
Yeah.
this philosophy, like the goddess of music. She doesn't care what you like. If you like it, you like it. If you
Yeah.
like John Mayer, if you like John Coltrane, if you like What Does the Fox Say, if you like
Yeah.
it, you like it. Like, who
Yeah.
the hell cares?
Yeah.
It's very
Oh
helpful
my
to me.
gosh, that's so true. It took me quite my favorite band is Hanson, and it
Oh
took me
yeah,
forever to be okay in my own skin telling people that. I
you
mean,
really
I
like
think I
Hanson,
didn't until
sure.
I was like mid 30s.
Yeah, see,
And and then it was like I after that I was like, why do I have to apologize for liking them? They're a band, like
it's such. I'm so happy to hear you say, and that's such a great choice because Hanson. I mean, because unfortunately, probably like most of us probably would get clowned if we're like, I genuinely like Hanson, but
yeah.
if a person clowns on me for saying that, they're telling on themselves. They're closed minded.
Yes.
They're judgmental. Like
Yeah.
I have no patience for that. So
Yeah.
um,
Well, and most like for them specifically, like, they're everybody always thinks of the 90s, them, when they were 14,
the ooze and stuff.
It's
Yeah,
like we're all 40 now. Like it's
totally.
totally
So are
different.
they. Yeah. I remember
It's
hearing
been
them on
30
live. They
years.
performed live on some radio things. Like, holy crap,
Yeah.
this is a good band. These guys really know what they're
Yeah.
doing. Those guys.
Yeah,
Um,
and was it when was the last August? I think no, July. July I saw them for like the 11th time I've seen them in concert.
no way.
And yeah, and
Cool.
I've met them probably 4 or 5 times and they're the coolest dudes. They're so
That's great.
nice
Yeah.
and all of us girls and screaming and yelling at them all
Yeah.
the
Well,
time.
it's nice to hear when, like, I mean, they were kind of ultimately child stars. It's nice to hear that
Yes.
they made it through without being totally destroyed by their early fame.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Well, I mean, they've put out unless you're a fan you wouldn't know, but like they've put out I think mainstream they've put out like 10 albums, but in the world of being their fan it's been about 30 because they put out one every year for the fan base too. So
Oh,
not
cool.
only just for mainstream, they put out one for the fan base every year. So
God damn, I respect that, man. That's hard
yeah,
work and that's
it's
devotion to the
cool.
fans. That's really cool.
I mean, that's so much music. I just get so crazy to me, like
It
so
shows you
much
how that
music.
a band like that is not manufactured for any
Yes.
like because
Yeah.
that it wouldn't be sustainable. It would break down at some point. If those guys
Yes,
really keep
exactly.
making music, I respect that a lot.
Yep. Yeah, they're all
I
sorry
aspire to
that.
be Hanson. I was not expecting to ever say that, but I want to have an album a year for the next 30 years too. That's I'm trying. I'm 2 for 2 so far.
You can do it. I have faith
Yeah,
in you.
thank you. Well, if nothing else, I'm prolific. I do write a lot, so not all the time,
Yes.
but a lot of
See, I feel
writing.
like we all kind of do. We could do it if and it's not like they're full 12 albums, It's only like five or
Yeah,
six songs, and I'm like,
EPs here and there. Yeah,
yeah, exactly. So I feel like every artist could do it if they wanted to, but they've done it just as a something that they've done for their fans for quite a long time. It's part of the fan base. You get
hmm
that, but yeah, it's cool. I mean, and they perform those songs too in the live shows. So yeah,
awesome.
it's the coolest thing. Yeah,
Rewards your continued interest and your continued investment. You get to
exactly.
feel like you're part of something. That's awesome when a
Yeah,
band can make that happen. Yeah,
exactly. I think that's just kind of a cool way to connect with your fans. Like you're
totally.
consistently making music that they kind of know.
Sure.
And
Yeah,
so I don't know, makes it cool.
you develop a community around it. That's nice.
Yes. Yes, exactly. Yeah, I mean, and that's where we've all kind of, I think us as like there's a Seattle based fan base, and so it's this whole and I also was a part of one in like when I saw them in California
Oh,
at
cool.
Disneyland and stuff like that.
You
So
saw
like
them perform at Disneyland?
yeah, it was pretty cool. Yeah.
Awesome. That's so
It was
cool.
way years ago.
Great.
But yeah, it was pretty awesome.
Nice.
But Yeah, I mean it's one of those things where I think like you no matter what band you like or who is your go-to, like I feel like it's a like you're saying like who cares, like nobody really cares, and at the end of the day you're the one listening to it and not them, and
Totally.
so it's their loss for not opening their I don't know, their horizons to listen to something else.
Mm-hmm. Totally.
I don't
As a
know.
songwriter, the more input I have from different musical sources, the better my songwriting gets in most times.
Yeah,
I feel that's for sure. If it's
exactly.
Hanson or if it's some obscure person from some faraway place,
Yeah,
all of it helps.
I agree. I agree. And I think it makes as a musician, I always like collaborating. Like that's my favorite thing to do on music is
Mm,
collaborate with people because I feel like you get more like you can make it yourself and it'd be great, but like at the also like I think it's better to have, some other input of like what people are hearing as well, not just you.
totally.
And so kind of the same concept of like having other bands and listening to other things, and I'm more influenced by like Hanson or Fall Out Boy or
Mm-hmm.
something like that
Sure.
because those are my favorite bands.
Totally.
But
Mm-hmm.
um I don't know. It's interesting to me. You kind of hear what everybody listens to in their music.
I do think
So
that comes through. It's funny for me. Like I've listened to so much kind of. People that have been a huge influence on me are like Elliott Smith,
mm,
Nick
yeah.
Drake, kind of some of that softer acoustic stuff. That's just
Yeah.
not the music that generally comes out of me. Like it's inspired in that direction, and then it comes
Yeah.
out sounding like I don't know, the Foo Fighters, I guess, or
Yeah.
something, or ELO or
Yeah,
Supertramp.
yeah.
It's kind of weird.
Yeah, yeah.
So the inputs and the outputs can be kind of wonky in my particular case, but
But I think it can also it's whether somebody hears it like let's say Drake, right? Like
sure,
if you're listening to the band and they say, oh, I'm influenced by Drake, you're like, how was that,
how does
but
that
you
work?
never really know how they hear it, as the
Totally,
musician, you don't know what they're actually taking from it, whether it's the
100%.
lyrics or the melody or whatever.
Maybe an emotional vibe too. Like
Yeah,
there's
that too,
certain artists who
yes.
inspire me a lot. Like this ventriloquist guy I was telling you about. I'm very inspired by his commitment to his craft. I'm not
No
intending on
kidding.
writing alien abduction songs uh, the
That's
way he is, but I'm inspired by
amazing.
yeah, very wild
I'm
dude.
curious to see how one of those comes out. That's interesting to me.
Yeah, I mean YouTube. If you look him up, maybe I'll send you his name's David Liebehart. I can send you his
Okay.
info after.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean his videos got like millions of views on YouTube. So it's
Jeez.
pretty. He's pretty wild.
Wow. I can't believe I've never heard of him. That's crazy.
Kind of
Is
a
he
niche
from
pop, I
here?
think.
Like from
He's
Seattle?
an LA guy, like a
Oh,
deeply
okay.
steeped in LA for years and years and years.
Yeah.
He was on tour coming up through Seattle, and
How did
our
you make that link? Like, how did
the
you? Oh,
venue we played a show at Tim's Tavern in White Center,
yeah,
and
yeah,
the booker there's a person named Jody who's awesome. She knew David was coming through to tour from LA, and she wanted to pick another band that I think was kind of you know high energy and maybe also
yeah,
a little strange. Are we? I know we're not just I don't know. We do what we are. We're kind of a strange band,
yeah.
in some ways because I mean I don't think of us as being we're not going for comedy. That's definitely not what we're doing.
Yes.
But I also do like laughing and cracking jokes, especially about myself. So
Yeah.
that can be
Yeah.
part of it too. It's not like stand up, but if I make the crowd laugh, that's great. Um,
Yeah.
so anyway, I think she
I
felt
think
like we could
that's
build
I
on
think
that.
that's great.
Yeah,
I think that makes it more interesting, you know.
that's the way.
Well, before we end, I really want you to play some music for
Yeah,
everybody.
sure. Yeah,
So,
sure.
I'm gonna let you kind of go do two songs and
That sounds great.
and then we'll end.
No problem. Um, so like I was saying to you before, I've the music comes out sounding kind of rockish, but I do have this tender side. This seemed like a perfect format in which to showcase that. So this is actually a song that our band played a little bit live. We don't play it anymore because it doesn't fit the kind of hard rocky vibe we have developed. But it's a beautiful song from our first record. Um, it's a song about as many songs are either directly or indirectly, probably for a lot of us. It's me struggling with my mother. So this song's called "Our Fair and Loving God." Taking off your Last line of defense before Judgment Day. The dirt I just tracked in is a slap in the face of our fair and loving God. A party Friday night with no kids allowed. A chance to drink alone in a crowded house. I think of you at home as my beer drowns out our fair and loving God is taking all my life. I don't mind. It's taking all my life. I don't mind. It's taking all my life. I don't mind that it's taken all my life. Pictures of us both a couple years ago. A past that's never passed can't be ours to know. If we've run away or directly toward our fair and loving God has taken all my life. I don't mind. It's taken all my life. I don't mind. It's taken all my life. I don't mind that it's taken all my life. Taking off your shoes in the entryway. If it's not the time, when will it be? Thinking of you now and then all the time as my fair and loving God. Oh, my fair and loving God. That song was called Our Fair and Loving God by myself and my band Sharkyologist. Another tune I'd like to play is another, it's a song we play in the band to a great big rocking effect, but I suppose I'm going to do a tenderer version of it here. This song is about, ultimately, my pessimism about the way the world is going. Anyway, I wish I had a brighter sort of coda to put on that, but that's just what the song is about. So it's called You Gotta Be Kidding Me. Baby, the gumption, the height of presumption, to make the assumption that things will work out. I mean, really, don't be so silly to actually be willing to say that out loud, to say that there's someone above us pulling the puppet strings, yeah, that somebody loves us. You gotta be kidding me. The earth turns and every good thing burns, and people, they don't learn their lessons by heart. It breaks my heart, yes. It makes me feel calmest finally be honest that we're not all that smart to say that good people will save us. And they're working so hard right now, yeah, for a better tomorrow. Do you know just how dumb you sound? But who am I to talk? I'm so tired and I'm so lost. Who am I to judge? Who am I at all? Who am I at all? Da 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 da. Well, I could have told you, and maybe even scold you, that the girl was gonna roll you, and it'd be your fault. I might be right, but what would be the point of opening wounds up just to pour in some salt? To say that she'd open her spirit and your heart would just fall on through, yeah, the way that I hear it. You don't know who you're talking to, but who am I to talk? I'm so tired and I'm so lost. Who am I to judge? Well, who am I at all? Who am I at all? Ooh, tell me this isn't happening. Tell me this isn't happening. Tell me this isn't happening. Yeah, tell me this isn't happening. Tell me this isn't happening. Tell me this isn't happening. Well, tell me this isn't happening. 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 Tell me this isn't happening to me at all. La da 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 da. La da 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 da. Oh yeah.
Yay!
Thanks. Thanks, Kara.
I wish I had a button I could just have the roar of people clapping and singing.
You know what? I appreciate you giving me the time to play, and thank you. Thanks for listening. Seriously.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
love it. They were very low key, and I really liked them both so
Kind of
much.
felt weird to come in here kind of burning through some loud shit on this guitar, especially.
Yeah,
I mean, it's sort of what we sound like more of the time, but whatever, you know. So
yeah, no.
this is a chance, like, this is my tender moment. This is nice.
Yes, I think it's great. I give everybody free reign if that's how they feel, or they can come in and rock too. Whatever works.
Sure, whatever, man.
Well, why don't you let everybody know where they can find you?
Sure, Sharkeologist, which rhymes with archaeologist, is it can be found on all the platforms, social media and music. Instagram's a good place to find out what's happening with the band at this particular moment. Coming up here, we got a couple of fun things, releasing a bunch of singles and a music video in the next few months. We have a show on November 30th, strange one, a matinee show, 4 p.m. at Real Art Tacoma, opening or playing with some other kind of hard rocky punk bands for Tacoma Humane Society fundraiser. So,
Hey, that's amazing.
yeah, as a dog owner, I'm also a dog owner.
Yes.
That will be representing the pups. And then December 19th, Friday night at the Sunset Tavern in Ballard with local rock stalwarts The Deception and Terra Nobody. Awesome synth wave kind of rock band.
Yeah.
Yeah, love that band. Love that band.
Yeah. They're
Uh,
good friends of the show.
oh, no kidding. Oh, you know
Yeah.
Brett and Allie?
Oh yeah, they're good friends of mine.
Dig it.
Yeah.
I'm happy to. I like them a lot.
Yeah. I
But
love it. I wish I could be there to go. That would be amazing.
you're coming back. Let me know. It's gonna be a fun show. We're gonna have it's kind of like a sort of bizarre Christmas party thing. We're gonna have DJ Brian Foss from KEXP spinning records between sets.
That's
Um,
cool.
I wanted to
Jeez.
have a portrait artist come and do sort of kind of sketch portraits like it's a
Yeah.
like you're at the circus or whatever.
Oh my gosh, that's so
So it's gonna
cool.
be a whole weird thing. Yeah, should be fun.
Yeah.
Decorate
Oh
the
my gosh,
sunset with like
that's
matching
amazing.
Christmas
Sounds
trees and
right
stuff.
up their alley too.
I think so. I think so too. Yeah, should be a good one.
Well,
Um,
it was so great to have you on. Thank you
what a
so
pleasure,
much. I'm
really.
so glad
Thank
we
you.
made this happen.
Likewise.
You're
Likewise.
amazing.
Good to talk
Tell your
things.
little guy thank you for hanging out with us.
Look at this guy. Life's looking pretty good from over tucked in
Yeah,
that blanket. I don't know if
right?
you can even see him there. Yeah, you see he's just tucked into a
No
blanket
kidding.
on Daddy's next level
Yeah.
guitars. Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Well, he definitely did a good job of hanging out with
I
us.
know. 5 years old, minimal interruptions. Pretty good.
Right? Right?
Yeah.
I mean, you can't ask for better.
I'll take it. 100%.
Well, everybody, please go check them out and stream their music and follow them and
Reach out and say hi. We'd love to hear from you.
reach out. Yeah, go see them in November and in December. So that's the only way to see them. Alrighty then, you guys. Well, thank you so much. Thank you for coming and sharing time with us and your
Of
music.
course.
And
Thank you.
everybody, we'll see you later. Bye.
Adios. Take care. Have a nice Sunday.
You too.